As a school, we're looking at reducing the amount of single-use plastic we've got, particularly in areas like the canteen. And we are putting around bins around the school so that any plastic that comes in, maybe students bring in plastic bottles and things, they can put it in the appropriate bins, and then we can sort of deal with that separately. And that sort of all ties in with a project we've been doing for quite a while, where we're looking at recycling the plastic that we were producing, and then also opening it up to the wider community and asking them to bring in plastic as well. So we've purchased the sort of machines that allow us to shred up and granulate the plastic and then repress it into new stock material so that we can reuse that with the students' products. The original concept was to close the loop in terms of we had plastic that we would use to make formers and students' products that then would end up being thrown away, and we identified what a huge waste that was. So we wanted a way to close that loop and bring it back into reuse. So the granulator allows us to do that because we can put any recyclable material, any thermoplastic can be shredded up and then in the heat press pressed down to be reformed into a new sheet. But we've also recently been experimenting we've got two hydraulic presses which we're now using, so we can press it into different shapes and also straight into products in some cases. So we're looking at getting the students able to make small penny boards and trying to get products that they engage with so that they really recognise the full process, how it goes from this piece of waste. And milk bottles is our sort of main plastic that we've been using at the moment, and then sort of taking that from that original state, recycling it, sheet press to make it a stock material, and then quickly form it into a product quite instantly. On the PSHE rotation that the students all take part in the school, we offer a unit on sustainability. So I deliver a unit looking at sustainability in terms of energy, which is obviously important to our local community anyway, with the various offshore wind farms. We look at sustainability in terms of products and do case studies in particular on bottles. But then also we look at how there are companies that are dealing with sustainability, and it's not as widely known as it perhaps could be. So some projects, for example, companies like Nike and West Beach, which is a snowboarding brand, they're using recycled plastic bottles to make their football shirts and make their snowboarding jackets and things like that. And students just aren't aware. So we try and get them to consider how people could better promote sustainability and shout about what they're doing. And that's feeding in quite nicely to our sort of recent push towards becoming an eco school, because what we really need to do is make sure that as a school we are shouting about sustainability and our sort of care for the environment, and making sure that is being heard by all the students in the school, but also that local community as well. So when we put in the initial grant, the intention was to set up large bins at the front of school where the community could start to deposit plastic. And obviously with the sort of period we've had with all the COVID restrictions and things, that sort of got reined in slightly. But we have been engaging quite a lot through the council and various representatives, really talking about what we're doing, and they're quite interested. So we're, various people are arranging to bring their plastic to us. So, for example, they're struggling to recycle the plastic lids at the moment, and we can reprocess those, heating them up, and just gradually kind of almost kneading them into a new sheet of plastic. So we can pick up where other areas perhaps can't deal with that issue.